Okay, so this is going to be a tutorial on how to do Videostar, because you keep saying that you can't do it and it looks hard, but it's really easy. Because believe me, if it was hard, I would not be able to do it. This is, if I could get it down, you can definitely get it down because you're very smart and I believe in you. So here we go. So this is the home screen. Basically, this is basically gonna be a tutorial on like the basic buttons, because there's never a video on like just the buttons, like the very basic understanding, because I want you to understand everything. I don't want there to be any questions. So this is the home screen. The plus sign, when you click that, that's when you want to start editing. So up here you can choose which like video format you'd want it in, and then I always press edit video, and then because I get my audios from Instagram videos that I save, so they're always in my camera roll. But you can also press select songs if you have any saved songs from like iTunes and stuff like that. And then even here you can still get to your camera roll, but I feel like it's easier if you just press edit video. So that's that. Music, that's their own, like their music that they play. Those are always asked, so don't ever press that. Then the lightning bolt is where you're going to buy your packs. You're never going to use any of these, because you don't need all of the ones that they're trying to give you. You have to buy like singular like packs themselves, because you don't need all of this shit. You don't need all that, and that's what they're trying to offer you for these fucking deals. Like, no, you're wasting money. So that was where you buy your packs. Hearts is where you can see like tutorials and other edits and shit like that, which is kind of cool. At the bottom you can do light or dark mode. So this says the button color, and then you can choose what the background looks like, and then you can go for dark or like whatever you want to do. So that's how you customize the home screen. Then you have the settings button. Whenever you start editing on here, make sure you go to new project resolution and always have it on the highest setting, so you have good quality when you do your edits. And then trash, obviously that's when you delete everything, all these fucking edits that I never did. I should probably clear all that because it's taking up a lot of storage. Delete forever. Okay. This is, iCloud. And then the question mark is like tutorials and stuff like that, and if you need like help. So when you actually start editing, you're going to press the plus sign like I said earlier, and then you're going to choose the format. So let's say I'm going to use this format. You're going to press edit video, and then you're going to go into your videos, and I would usually select my songs from here, so I'm going to do this one. Okay, so this is basically showing you the video that you picked. This is the length of the video, obviously. When I edit, I will only do the first loop, and then I would just I'm not gonna edit to the whole entire song if there's a loop, if you get what I'm saying. I only do the first part, and then for the loop I would just export the video and insert the video I just made and put it for the second part, for like the second loop, if that makes sense. Like, this plays twice, as you can see. So I would basically edit this first part, then stick it here, instead of like doing the whole edit twice, if you get what I'm saying. And if you don't, it's okay. Like, I'll explain it in a different video. Anyways, so I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna play it so I know where I want to stop it. So this is the start of the second loop. So I'm gonna go to the end of the first one, which is right here. I'm gonna press set end, and that says where you want to end it. So I'm gonna be ending it right here, and then you press make video. Processing. And then now you have the clip that you cut out, like the video. So that's the first loop. Now, so these buttons, this is just to exit out this X up here. Boop, nope, now I'm out. And when you go in and say you exit out, these buttons right here, this is for trash. This one is to start editing, and this one is to export. So since we're going to be editing, we're going to press the scissors. And now you're back to where you were. This is obviously to play. The camera right here is to take a screenshot. So bam, I just have that now, and you can set it as the thumbnail, or you can just save it to your camera roll or whatever. I don't want to, I was just showing you that. This is the length of it. So now I'm going to show you the buttons down here. So we're going to start with add. You're never going to use that because it always says that, so it's fucking irrelevant. This is just for, this is basically the basic information I'm going to be giving you now, but I'm giving it to you more in detail. Audio, this is where you can play with the audio and stuff like that, like if you want it to like fade out in the end or anything. So that has to, audio obviously is going to do with the music. Edit, so the first one, copy, what does that do? To be honest, I never use copy, so I don't even know what that just did. So we're gonna ignore that. Now merge scenes, it's gonna say that because you have to cut through these first, so I'm gonna show you how to cut the clip really fast. So right under merge scenes is quick split. That's usually if you're only like chopping something in half, so like one cut. But since we're gonna be chopping this whole thing up, we're gonna go to the one under it, which is multi-split. So basically you just go to the ends of each transition to cut your clip. So this is the end of the first one, so I'm gonna press set, and that'll put down the cut. That is the end of the second transition, and that is the end of the third transition. I'm just gonna do those three. So when you're done, say I cut this whole thing. When you're done, you're gonna press split, and now you have those three parts that we just cut. So say you're done with all of like the whole edit, and they would all be cut up like this. So say you're done with the whole edit, you're gonna press merge scenes, set start. This is the first clip, so that will always be your start, and then you go to the end, and your last clip is always your end clip. Merge, and now you have the whole edit, and it's not cut anymore, and it's just a single thing right here. Yep. Delete scene, you will only do that for the end of the last scene. So say we're gonna quick split this really quick. Split. This is the end scene. So if I wanted to delete that, it'll let you delete it, but I don't want to. So we're gonna press cancel, and we're gonna merge the scenes again. So now that they're one. And then share video clip. That's where you want to export it, but you never want to like export it this way. You always want to go out and use this to export it, and it'll say like send to Instagram or send to wherever. Because if you do it with like this way, then it messes up the quality. So you're probably not going to use the share video clip. No, stop. And the new button is just as important as the edit button, because this is where you're going to like actually do your editing and stuff. So record video, you're probably never going to press that, because that's like recording you, unless you want to like edit yourself. I mean, like you can, but like I don't know who is using that. Import video. So say like I'm about to start my edit. This is how I would usually go about editing. So I have my clips. I'm going to cut it into 3 pieces like we did like just before. So we're going to go to the end of this. Set. Okay, so then we're going to split this. So we're just dealing with these. So obviously this is another person's edit, and I usually use this as a base because I have trouble cutting clips to just music. I mean, I can, but I feel like I'm more precise if I'm using somebody else's edit. Oops. So obviously I'm not going to be editing their shit. So we're going to go to the first clip because this is the intro. So we're going to go to the first part, which is right here. We're going to press new, import video. I have Twixtor packs already in here. Like this is a Toga one. So say I'm editing her. It'll allow me to import a clip in place of the one we just did. So say I want to use this. You're going to go to the part that you want, and you're going to set the little marker there, and you're going to press set end, or you can press set start, either way, as long as it captures this clip. These let you like move it forward, move it back, move it up, move it down. This changes the background. So right now my background is, what just happened? Okay, oops. So as you can see, my background is green right now because I use a green screen sometimes. So say if I wanted a different color though, like, you know, these play with the different colors. But it doesn't matter because I'm not going to be using a green screen right now. So this lets you change the, like, just rotate it. And this changes, like, the size of it, but, you know. And that's that. So we're going to press set and import. Now, as you can see, it's no longer the edit, it's the clip I just put in. Show it. Yeah. So now Toga is here instead of the edit. And I would basically import clips throughout the whole thing. So we're going to do it one more time. New, import clip. You know what? I don't want to do Toga. I'm going to do Ash. So, say I want... what scene do I want? Okay, I want this scene right here. So I'm gonna press set in, import. Now that clip is in there. Okay. Go back to new, import photo, the exact same thing, just with photos. Please don't laugh at my memes. So say I want this one, import, boom. Now it's Bakugo instead of Toga. So then motion, we're not going to deal with these two right now because this is on a whole different level. So don't even worry about these yet. Don't worry about timing either, or mix. So mix, motion, velocity, and timing, don't even look at those. Don't look at those. All right. So re-effect is where you can add different effects to it. These are like custom standard ones. You're probably never going to use these. If you ever tap on one and say you don't want it, you just tap on it again and... What? No, sorry. Say you tap on one, you would tap on the little X right here to stop it. So you're going to press the plus sign right here, and it takes you to more effects. Usually I use this after I do, like, I don't really use this for editing. I use it for, like, effects. Well, that makes sense because it's called re-effect, but whatever. So, say I wanted to, it's a vintage edit, so I'm going to add, like, the TV screens, maybe make it darker, make it lighter. This just plays with whatever you're doing. Say I'm going to go to this one, and I want it to flicker. This is seizure, and this is, like, basically none. So that's what re-effect does. So whenever you're done, say this is what I want, you're going to press the down arrow. The re-effect button lets you see it to music, while Quick FX just automatically saves it. So for example, say I like how it looks right now. I don't care to see it with music. So Quick Effect, boom, now we're done. But say I don't really know how it looks like this. I want to see how it would be to music. You press re-effect, and it's gonna play it to the music. If you heard that, it's better to see when you do a whole edit, because then you'll see the whole edit play out with that effect, if that makes sense. Transform is where you have your custom coloring. I don't use any of this shit over here. I'll get into a different video about how to do your custom editing, but this is where I would usually do my colors. Sometimes it messes with the quality of it, so I don't use it as often anymore, but sometimes I do. And then sharpen is to help with the quality. So right here is sharpen, edit. So you can play with how coarse it looks and how intense it is, if that makes sense. So usually I keep it on this level. I try not to go over 15, because as you can see, it gets meme-ish. So I'll keep it 15 or under. So say I want that, then you just do create. Boom. Now it looks like that. Now we're gonna get into the juicy stuff, the good part, if you know what I'm saying, which is multi-layer. This is where you truly are doing your editing and where you're going to be doing all of your transitions. Now, before I get into that, we are just going to go over the buttons. Create is when you're done with your transition. So you press create and then it's going to be done and it's going to save it. The camera is still for thumbnails or for screenshots. This is just like a basic breakdown, and you can do tutorials, 3D, and that's where you just get information. Now, the QR button, that's if you save QR codes. QR codes is basically when somebody does a transition on here and save it, and then they post that QR code so you can take it and use it yourself. You will always have to credit the person when you use them because it's their transition. But it's basically, instead of you doing the work of making your edit, you're having someone do it for you. So say you have some, say you have some save. You're going to press import. You can make your own too. Like, these are all mine that I made. And I have a couple others that I made. But, so you can save it yourself just so you can get through it faster. Like, it doesn't always have to be somebody else's QR code, if that makes sense. So say I want to use this. I'm going to press yes, fit. And then I'd have something here, and that's basically what that looks like. So I added the QR code, and it did that. It's a shake. So yeah, basically that's what that is. And then when you make a QR code, like yourself, you would always press share, and then you'll name it, and then press next, and then you can save it. So that's that. Cancel is obviously to like log out, like to get out of the screen. Now, this deals with the color of the background. It can be whatever you want. Now, these, because this is called multi-layer, you can add different layers to it. So if you're doing something 3D or you're doing something with multiple layers, then you'll use the other ones. But if you're doing, like, say you're just doing like a slide transition, you're only going to use the first one because you're only using one clip. You don't need another clip. This button, we're not going to deal with these two buttons up here because that deals with 3D and that's on another level, if you know what I'm saying. So now down here, the farthest one to the right is where you can mirror your photos. So there's different types. Depending on the edit you're doing, usually I'll use this one. It just makes it look smoother. And even though you can't see it, if you go out, you can see that they're all mirrored for you. And you just zoom back in. Color, that deals with effects and stuff like that. I can make it brighter. I can make it darker. This changes the color of it. And then usually when I do transitions, I add tracking blur to it. You can't see it right now because the clip has to be moving. Like, it has to do a transition for you to see the tracking blur. But that's a very important part. And as you can see, I have it starred over here because I find it very important, which it is. And then the layout. These are going to be your transitions. You're going to be dealing with these a lot if you're doing something other than like a zoom out or a slide. If you're doing anything other than that, then you'll be dealing with these. And I have some of these saved because I use them pretty often. Anyways, now we're going to get into the actual clip. Now, this is probably the part that you've what's it called, like kind of like hard about it, but I promise, very easy. I'll get to these in a second. So the first one you're going to press is edit keyframes. All right, I'm gonna break this down for you super quick. Options. Usually I didn't use these at first when I first started, so don't really worry about these. I'll do that in a different video. You know, the info button. QR code, which I just talked about. This is for the grid. Like, if you need to do a slide transition, it's easier and more accurate if you use a grid, because you can line it up with the little lines. But say you don't need it, like you're a pro, like I don't even need the grid to do my slides, then you just press it, boom, no grids. This right here changes the background of it, so I'm just gonna zoom out really quick. As you can see, it's light or dark. This probably doesn't matter at first, but if you're doing like a manga edit, or you're doing something where you don't like, there's no as you can see, like what's it called, it's mirrored. Like if you're not doing a mirrored clip, that might help you. Now these just deal with the directions, you know, up, left, right, down. So these are the pathways, and the graphs that deal with it is going to be this one up top. So say you're doing a slide transition. This is what it will look like by itself. It's not very smooth. It's a little choppy. It doesn't look right. This is why you always use a graph. And you use graphs in CuteCut as well, but you don't make it yourself. They have like already made graphs for you. But in Videostar, it's better to use your own or to use a QR code. So I'm going to show you that really quick. So I want to do this slide transition. This is where you would make your graph right here. I already have one saved, so I'm going to press import. Yes. Recently added. I'm going to scroll up. Where did I put it? Right here. So this is one of the QR codes I have saved that helped me with my graphs. Now it looks like that. This would be an ending transition, not a beginning one. So that's how you deal with the graphs. And that's just for pathways. Each one, like all of these have graphs to them. I'm about to explain them though. I swear to God, it's not as crazy as it sounds. So now we just have our clip. Opacity, I think it's how it's pronounced. It just deals with transparency. If that's even a word, I don't know how to speak English. So as you can see, that's that. If you go to the end of the clip and say you want to lower it to 30, you're going to press the graph, and you have already saved graphs here, but you can also make your own. I prefer making my own. So you can always make a graph, but you don't have to. Like it can just, you know. Then you have size. Obviously that deals with how big or small the clip is. You would use these for a zoom in or a zoom out. For your clip to be regular, it'll be at 100%. So say at the end, I want it to get big. Boom, now it's big. Now, you're going to press the little circle right here. This says layout. Layout is referring to layout right here where you would do your transitions at. So these right here pertain to this. And when you press size, color is dealing with color right here. So we have, say you wanted to make it blurry, you could go to edit keyframes, and then you can see right here, this is making it blurry, this is making it not. So that deals with the color. And if you want to go back to size, you would just press it again. Now it's dealing with the size of it. Press it again, it's dealing with how blurry it is. And it's the same for this one too. Say I don't want to do layout, like I don't have one, and I just wanted it to fade out. Boom, now it's fading out. All right. All right, and then the ones down here, this only deals with turning your image. Like, you would use this first one for spinning, and this graph right here deals with how it's spinning. This one is flipping it forward or back. The next one is flipping it left or right. And those are the buttons. This lets you use, like, if you don't want to hear the music with the clip as you're editing, you can just turn those off, or you can turn them on. I truly don't care. So that was that screen. And that's basically the very, like, basic beginning of the buttons and how to use them. So that is it. If you have any questions, let me know. I don't know if I had, like, recorded that to the best, not recorded, explained that to the best of my ability, but I hope that you have a little better understanding and you're not too, like, oh my god by it, so yep.